I do it because I want them, the next generation, to look at me and go, you don't have to do it their way. You do it your way.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Happy early Father's Day.
Thank
How
you.
you feeling?
Like a father.
You look amazing. Was this your first father-son shoot together?
No, we did one in
I lie. That's one
People
thing about his
magazine.
father.
Oh, good, right.
We did one of People magazine?
with Kai.
No, but we did. It was me, you, and Kai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But first, just you
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
How you feeling? How'd it go?
It was great.
Good.
Really dope pictures, yeah.
Good.
You actually posed better this time than you did when you was little.
I would hope so. I was like 13.
Yeah, your eyes kept closing. I was like, bro, open your eyes.
You were choking me. I can't
That's
breathe.
called hugs.
Oh, we got
son.
right. I got some questions.
Hugs.
Marlon, I feel like the public at large, kind of the first glimpse into you kind of as father was watching Marlon, your show that you had,
Yeah.
with, loosely based on your family. What did it mean to you to be able to do that show for those two seasons?
That show was therapeutic for me because it was a lot of things I do. It's all like cathartic. I've learned to create from pain and from misery and just find funny.
Yeah.
And I pull in this thing called life, and life has its twists and turns. And Marlon was basically probably about my biggest heartbreak because it was about me messing up my family and trying to keep them together.
Yeah.
In the midst of all the turmoil, that we still found family and connectivity. And watching that show and doing that show, was a lot of stories and stuff was from our life.
Yeah. What did you learn about your dad watching the show?
He's
Nothing.
Crazy.
Absolutely nothing.
Stop it.
I'm being so serious.
He's crazy.
What do you mean?
Besides,
Like, no
honestly,
surprise?
nothing. He's the same. How he was on the show is the exact same way he is in real life. Okay. That's how he is 24/7.
That's crazy.
I mean,
can't
he's
do
obviously
that.
more of like a dad. Like,
Yeah.
you guys would probably be surprised. He's a father. Like, he's a father.
Is he
for
a
sure.
strict dad?
Yes. Well, not strict, but very protective.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I'm
very,
protective.
Okay.
I'm not strict.
Okay.
I'm not
That's good.
He's not like helicopter dad.
smoke
but
crack,
like,
but make sure
yeah.
you call me and you got
Yeah,
home safe.
yeah.
I'm
That's
just
good.
like, if you're going out late, it's late. I want
Yeah.
you to know it's late. And
Yeah.
at this time of night, when trouble happens and you're a black man in a nice car, and I want you to be careful. So if you get from point A to point B, you call me.
Yeah.
And if not, you share your thing because I know where to find you if something's going down.
Yeah. That's all.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
ask for a text. I love
Okay.
you. Everything I'm doing is protection, but he's a grown ass man, but they're always my babies.
Yeah. You became a dad for the first time just shy of 28th birthday,
Yeah.
2000, which was also like a big career peak, one of your big career peak times, like Scary Movie coming that
Yeah.
time. Did you feel ready for fatherhood?
I felt ready at 24.
Really?
And I used to always tell Angela, his mom, I used to be like, I want a kid.
Okay.
Because all my brothers was having kids. And I've been raised around, I had a nephew, which was like a son, since I was 3.5.
Yeah.
When you grew up in a black family, my sister and my mama were pregnant at the same time. And so, and they fist fought in the living room. It was a hell of a fight. My mama greased that ass though. It was a good fight. Deidre gave a good fight. But my point is that I was always around kids, so it's second nature for me.
Okay.
It's like no matter what age, they were ready. So I was ready at 24,
Okay.
and his mom was like, "No, baby, you're not ready." But I think she wasn't ready.
Okay.
But I think she was right. I wasn't ready. Even when I had him at 28,
Yeah.
I wasn't ready
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
I think in hindsight, I probably could have waited till I was maybe 35 and really been ready in a different kind of way.
Okay.
But 28,
Yeah.
movie star. I'm sorry, son.
I'm
Well,
here.
and you came in early. Yeah. How did it feel second time around with Shawn?
That was it was first time around was a blessing, and second time around was a blessing. Third time around it's a blessing. You know what I mean? I love my children. They know their father loves them. Everywhere I go, everything I do, the way I try to conduct myself, I try to be an example, just without always having to say.
Yeah.
That sometimes they could just watch. And they're like, man, Dad works 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I remember he told me he was going to do this project, and I watched him work on it every day until it happened. And he's doing stand-up on the weekend, and he's filming a special, and he has a movie coming out, and he's filming. You can do it all. And he still practices his piano, and he still makes time for us. You can do it all. That's all I want is my actions to be an example to them.
Yeah.
The second time around, that you know, it's my boy. You know,
Yeah.
that's my mini me.
Yeah. 4 years ago, we talked, and you talked about your relationship with your mother and how she was the reason you didn't want to get married. You wanted her to always be your number one.
That
girl.
was you that licked me up all over social media. You went and put that up there. Now all these people were there paying. I think that's a twisted way to love your son. And man, y'all don't mind your damn business. I don't care what people say.
Yeah.
I love my mama.
Yeah.
I know my mama.
Yes.
I know how needy my mama was. And I wanted to be available for my mother because my mother had me when she was older.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I loved my mama. And if that's a problem for any woman, that I love my mama so much that I need to make sure, because I don't want beef.
Yeah.
A lot of times you get the mama and the daughter-in-law fighting. I don't want that. And my mama was really good. She loved his mama, and they got along good. And I just chose not to do it because I knew my mother was sick, and she needed me. So I'm gonna spend my time doing that.
Yeah.
And anybody in my life has to understand how a man loves his mother is how he's gonna love you. Now you should hope that you inherit that love. But a man got to do what he got to do. That woman brought me here. She loved me my whole life. Sorry, ma'am, I just met you. And if that's a problem for you, if that's a problem for anybody, you know, you could lose your soul early. I know what I'm tethered to. I know what I'm grounded. I know, you know, and I did the right thing. Because now that she's gone, I feel good. Now you can love on me. I don't have. There's no battles, no beefs, no nothing. I'm all yours, except for Mother's Day when I go see you at the grave.
Yeah.
But for people to think that they can have an opinion about my life and how I love my mama, man, if it wasn't for my mama, y'all wouldn't have had all these Wayans is cracking all these jokes. We done bought all this joy in this world, so you better bow down to the queens because you too, woman, are a queen. So if a man don't love his mama, he ain't gonna love you.
That's right.
An abusive man don't like his mama. If you love your mama, you never lay your hands on a woman. I love my mama.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask just how she impacted the type of father you are. I heard you say one time she raised you all to be romantics, you know.
All of my brothers are fathers.
Yeah.
We take pride in being fathers. Like it's not a task. I love taking care of my children. I don't mind cooking for them, taking them on walks, or teaching them. I don't mind traveling with them. I love my kids. If you sat me with even my baby, if you want to drop me with her for 3 days, come on, you're gonna come to the daddy show, and she'll cheer watching me, daddy, and I'm doing double duty. I don't have a nanny when I have my child. When I have Axel, it's just me, and he's watching me like, wow.
Yeah.
Look at how competent my dad is. I cook for her. I don't, no chefs, no nothing. I don't take a restaurant. I cook for her. We go in the garden. We pick some vegetables. We play together. I feed her. I bathe her.
Yeah.
That little woman loves her father. And all my kids, it's the work you put in. And I take pride in being a father. Forget actor, comedian, writer, producer, even son. I care about being a son. I care about being a nephew. I care about being a friend. But most of all, I care about being a father.
Yeah.
That's the one title. You can put that on the tombstone. Loving father.
Yeah. What's it like seeing your dad, with your younger sister? Like, I have a younger brother who's 15 years younger, so it's a huge gap. What's it like for you?
It's definitely different to see.
He's a co-father.
Yeah, I basically am, yeah. But it's...
She's going to be 18. I'm checking out. I'm like, hey, you know what to do. You got it from here, Shawn. I'm going to be resting right here. Y'all come visit me. I made my own grandbaby. That's what I did. It's weird. But it's on me. I make things weird. And that's what I love about my kids. They just love their dad for being, I'm just weird. I'm different. I'm always going to be me. And they just love me unconditionally. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. I should not be.
Yeah.
But I think in their eyes and all my perfections, there is something very perfect about me.
Yeah. I love when you said too, you care about being a son, and I know the Bible verse, honor thy father and mother, is really important to you.
Honor thy mother and father, for thy days on this earth will be long. I live by that.
Yeah.
I live by that.
Yeah.
My father taught me that when I was a child, and I never forgot it. And so it was always me going, and I'm the baby. I got to show up for my mom and my dad. I have to. My mom was sick, and she was on the West Coast. I'd fly from wherever I was in the world or wherever I was in the country. I'd fly 3,000 miles. I go pick her up. Yeah. We go on a date. We go out. Sometimes the kids go with and Angie, and my mom be like, I love your kids, but this time I just want to see the one I made. And so it would just be me and her. Yeah. We go on our date. And my father was in New York. If I'm anywhere on the East Coast, I'd fly home just to go take him to dinner and have a drink of wine and have a conversation. We talk about God, have some laughs, go on a walk, and then I'm on a plane to go see my mom and take on a date. I think it's important for a child to love his parents. That's healthy love. Yeah. And if I didn't do that, then I couldn't love my family the way I love my family, and I couldn't be an example to my children that's seen me do it. So one day when I'm my mother and I'm my father and I'm getting older, they know what to do. Yeah. They know how to show up. Yeah. There's no excuses. They watched it, and that's what children really learn. Yeah. I got to take care of my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. What lessons do you remember from your parents? Strict
I got you.
I ain't leaving you.
I got you. Diaper
even when I poo myself.
Diaper and all. I got you.
I'm going to drink green juice and make sure it's big and crazy.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
Eat a lot of eggs and peaches.
Oh my God.
What lessons do you remember from your grandparents?
Honestly, just loving. Just being loving, and probably always put family first. Definitely put family first, because that's all we got, really. Yeah. And they're always going to be there. I'll always be there for them. And we work together all the time. We hang out all the time. They're like my best friends.
So his directing partner, he's a budding director, writer, producer. And my niece, Shawn's daughter, Ilea, they're partners, and they're working together like the way Shawn and I work together. And then Layla, who's Shawn's daughter, is a producer and a artist, so they're doing her music videos. And my child Kai is a writer, so they're all starting to write together. And Marlon is a writer and an artist as well. So this next generation of Wayans are special, because we were just a bunch of project kids just hustling, and we had that crazy work ethic. We was gonna make it. We had to hustle. They're educated. They went to the best schools, best private schools. They watched the examples of how to do it. All that we've accomplished is nothing compared to what they're going to do. And they're going to, I think, create the business that, well, I'm going to start it, but really create the business and the family business that will stand the test of time.
Yeah. Well, my selfish question in that is there a documentary coming?
And I hope I taught you responsibility.
Yeah, of course.
What do you say?
I'm responsible.
Is there a Wayans documentary coming? The people want it.
Not yet, but we're talking about it. You know, look, everybody wants to know. We have so many stories. Yeah. And I always say, I don't think all the jewels we have as a family, I don't think they have any value until we pass them on. And I think that there are a lot of families that need to see a documentary about our family, about how we did it, because every family is dysfunctional.
Absolutely.
And you got to figure out how to make it work. Ain't nobody perfect. Every family get on your nerves. If y'all don't think Shawn get on my everlasting nerve, he do.
That's Uncle Shawn, right?
I was about to say Shawn brother.
Yeah,
Shawn
but I still named my kid after him.
Exactly.
And he get on my everlasting nerve. Keenan, if you don't think I want to fight him, and Damon, I want to swoop his little club leg. But I love them, and I love their children, and those are my. I live for them. I die for them. Yeah. My family's everything.
Yeah. I've always wanted to write about the power of uncles around Father's Day because I feel like we don't talk about them as much like aunts on Mother's Day. What has it meant to you to have this circle, of uncles also and strong men in your family?
They're basically like my second fathers. I mean, if anything, God forbid, happened to my dad, I know that I'm good because I have a great support system around me.
Yeah.
So it's like a beautiful thing to feel supportive.
Yeah. Something you said in an interview that stopped me in my tracks when you were talking about your children was, I'm not going to take away your smile. And in the sense of you were going to support, whatever career path, whatever journey they went down. Was that what your parents did for you? And what's that like for you being on the receiving end of that?
Y'all lost you on the last part.
Sorry.
You got a cool radio voice. Hey, so you get sexy and you crying on them.
Then I come in with the crazy
questions. You got these questions, but you pimping at the same time. I'm sitting with these two fine black men, and I just want to know, baby.
I just want to know. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, was that how your parents were with you? That they supported the entertainment pursuit out the gate? No.
No.
Interesting.
My parents hated everything we did.
Really?
It took my brother to be successful for my parents to be like, okay, it's something in that. And once Keenan made it, then my mother was like, there was nothing else. Like, boy, college, you better take your behind out to California and get on that show. But, but it takes one with a dream and to make that dream come true. And that was, Keenan broke that mold. And I've learned that being the youngest, that even though my brother broke the mold, I often stray away. I don't always do it the way he wants me to do it.
Okay.
And he'll always say to me, why are you going the long way? If I tell you to go out in the rain and it's wet and it's raining, why don't you take an umbrella with you? And I told him, I said, well, Keenan, I said, that was what you found out. I said, maybe I just want to dodge raindrops and see if I could bring something new to the table. Because if I'm you, then I can't be me, and we can't be us. I got to bring something different. Yeah. So, I remember I was doing drama, and my brother Shawn would be like, why you doing Richard Pryor? That's stupid. I'm like, bro, I want to win an Oscar. For what? That's dumb. I said, because that's my dream. Yeah. It doesn't have to be yours. But this is something that I want to do in my life. I stayed back at Howard University because I wanted to be me for 2 years by myself, away from my brothers. Yeah. I just wanted to be Marlon before I became Marlon Wayans, because otherwise I'm going to be overshadowed by the current and the stream, and I got to do it their way. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it my way. Yeah. I do it because I want them, the next generation, to look at me and go, you don't have to do it their way. Yeah. You do it your way. And as long as you're following your dreams, as long as you're following your passion, as long as you're working your behind off for that thing you love, hey, man, I support you, because success has to be your way. Yeah. And you read all these theories as an actor. I know Stanislavski, I know Meisner, I know all these different methods, only to create my own method, because I got to do things my way. Yeah. And I hope that, he likes horror movies. Okay. He's crazy. Yeah. He listens to music. He got the Shining soundtrack. I'm like, what are you? Murder? I hope you're not having sex to this. What the hell?
No, it's weird. You said be different.
Exactly.
That is different. But do I ever say, I go, here's my ideas or my thoughts. Okay. I never say, you got to do it my way. Yeah. I will say, you should dedicate more time during the day towards writing. Okay. But I will never tell him when that time should come, or anytime you need to do whatever you need to do, you can do it. But I want him to do him. I want Kai to do them. Yeah. I want Axel to do her. Yeah.
Has that taken pressure off of you to kind of live up to the Wayans name?
Oh yeah. I feel like there's not too much pressure. The only pressure is my own personal self, because we're blessed with the ability to just create, and we're gonna mess up, we're gonna fumble, but it's great because we're just creating and make mistakes together. Yeah. So I feel very comfortable. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
You hear that?
I do.
I feel very comfortable. Boy, we came out here. We was like, I gotta eat. I gotta eat. I'm hungry. I ain't had a protein. I had beans. I ain't had no steak. years. I gotta get this check. He's like, I created my own time.
Yes.
And, the world brings it to me. I know I will leave my father's mansion and really have a comfortable loft somewhere. No, but I like that they can create not from desperation.
Yes.
That they can create from. I don't believe in kicking my kids out at 18. This is one of those things that people gonna be like, that's your problem. You know what your problem is, Marlon? First of all, you got a toxic relationship with your mother, and then you making these kids that's gonna be, they nipple suckers. They gonna be on you forever. To calm down. My parents wanted everybody out the house, and I was the baby. And you know what I saw? Was as much as they wanted everybody out the house, as soon as they left, my parents were so heartbroken. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
Whatever I have, it's yours anyway. So you living in my home as long as you need to. If you need to bring the grandbabies. Back in the day, that is how families existed. I want to have a big plot of land with all my relatives on there, with our gravesite on there. I want it to be Wayans World. And you ain't never got to get out. You never got to get out. We always got to keep this family bonded. We always got to keep this generations fed. We always got to make sure that family is welcome. And it's a healthy thing that you create this space for them that they don't feel like you ain't got to get out.
Yeah.
I don't make these weird rules and that's ego. I'm on the road.
Yeah.
It's his house more than it's mine.
Wow.
And I love my children. I just think that God blessed me with these beautiful things, and why would I want them to, not be around me? If they choose not to be, that's on them.
Yeah.
But you can have your place, but you will always have a room in my house.
You adopted?
Huh?
You adopted?
Everybody want free, man. First you're gonna get me in trouble with all these questions.
Well, lastly, and you mentioned horror. You're about to be in a horror. And I'm excited because when we talked before, you were saying, I'm ready to be leading man, I'm ready for drama. And we saw it with Respect, we saw it with Bel Air, now you have this role. How does it feel to kind of be in that era now?
It feels good. I mean, I can't wait for the movie to come out. I haven't seen it. I hear great things, but I haven't seen it. I know what I put down every day on the set. And it's funny, I know I've been talking about leading man and, and trying to be one of those, the top 10 guys that they give the best script to, with the best director, with the best budgets. But I realize I'm glad I'm still working toward that. I've been a leading man since I was 19 years old. Yeah. And a lot of those leading man roles, I had to write, create, produce myself or with my brothers. And I was always a leading man. If I do and I write and I create, then I'm a part of creating leading man. I don't let Hollywood tell me what my audience views me as and what they think they're gonna believe me in. No, you don't get to choose that. I'm gonna choose that. My audience will choose that. What I've done for myself in the past 35 years is I've created myself to something that is rarely seen. Somebody that can, and now I'm doing stand-up.
Yeah.
So I'm doing stand-up comedy, and I'm killing these shows. I've written and produced my own movies.
Yeah.
I've been acting, dramatic acting, I've been doing since I was 4. Like, I have a really diverse skill set. So I can play anything from a villain to a hero, from a little person to a white woman. If you look at my filmography, people can go, yo, he plays 7 people in one movie. One of these days, they're gonna go, that dude was bad. Why? Because Marlon does the work. Period. I don't care if it's a drama. I don't care if it's act. I don't care if it's 2 scenes. You give me 1 scene, I'm gonna give you it's gonna feel like the energy, like I'm starring in it. I write a whole. And then what was that? Norbit.
Yeah.
It said Buster Taps. That's all it said. Buster Taps. And I went and I wrote a whole power tap dance class. It was an hour long, a real live class, and I showed it to the director, and he goes, "Oh my God, this is hilarious." Okay, so how long is Eddie in makeup? 5 hours? He was like, "We're filming all that." And Brian Robbins did. I always overshoot, and I tell him, Don't hit the target. You got to shoot through the target. You never stop working. You never stop creating. You never stop building yourself into being something special. And you're not trying to be like anybody else. I'm just trying to be the best Marlon Wayans I could be. And the only thing that's going to get me there is this hard work and this dedication. And what I will not do is fail my audience when it comes to my performances.
Absolutely.
Period. I may fail as a father. I may fail as a son. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. Failing my performances.